Maya sat at a small table in the corner of the coffee shop, sipping on a latte and staring out the window at the rainy morning. Her ex-boyfriend, Alex, sat across from her, his elbows on the table and his fingers interlaced as he spoke to her in a calm but firm tone. "I know this is hard for you, Maya, but I think it's time we talk about what happened between us." Maya felt a knot form in her stomach as she listened to Alex's words. She had been dreading this conversation for weeks, ever since he had broken up with her over the phone. She had hoped that maybe if she just ignored his calls and texts, he would go away and leave her alone. But here he was, sitting across from her in this coffee shop, looking like he hadn't skipped a beat since their breakup. "What is there to talk about?" Maya asked, her voice shaking slightly as she tried to keep her emotions in check. "You broke up with me, remember? You said you didn't love me anymore." Alex sighed and rubbed his temples. "I know, and my apologies for hurting you. But I think we need to talk about why things ended between us. Maybe there's a way we can move forward and be friends." Maya felt a wave of sadness wash over her as she listened to Alex's words. She had thought that maybe, just maybe, they could be friends after the breakup. But now, hearing him say that he still wanted to be friends only made her feel more rejected and heartbroken. "I don't know if I can be friends with you," Maya said, her voice barely above a whisper. "It hurts too much." Alex nodded sympathetically. "I understand. Maybe we can take some time and then try again later. But for now, can we at least talk about what happened?" Maya hesitated for a moment, before nodding slowly. She knew that she needed to come to terms with the end of their relationship, no matter how painful it was. She also knew that if she wanted to move on, she had to be able to discuss what had gone wrong, and why. "Okay," Maya said softly. "But please, don't expect me to forgive you, or anything like that. I just can't right now." Alex nodded again, his expression understanding and gentle. "I wouldn't dream of it," he said. "Let's just talk, and see where it takes us." Maya took a deep breath, and leaned back in her chair, preparing herself for the conversation that was about to unfold. She knew that it would be difficult and painful, but she also knew that it was necessary if she wanted to heal and move on. Maya sat in the park, staring blankly at a bird perched on a branch. Her best friend, Sarah, sat beside her, gently rubbing her shoulder. "Hey, Maya, it's okay to feel sad," Sarah said softly. "You and Alex were together for a long time. It's normal to grieve the loss of that relationship." Maya sniffled and wiped her nose with her sleeve. "I know. It just feels so unfair. We were supposed to be together forever, and then he just disappeared." Sarah sighed and wrapped her arm around Maya's shoulders. "Life doesn't always go according to plan, sweetie. Sometimes we have to adapt and move on." Maya shook her head, feeling a surge of anger and betrayal. "I can't believe he did this to me. I thought he was the one, you know, the one I was going to spend the rest of my life with." Sarah pulled Maya into a hug. "I know, baby, but you're strong and capable. You'll get through this, and I'll be here for you every step of the way." Maya leaned into the hug, feeling a sense of comfort and security that she hadn't felt in weeks. She knew that Sarah was right. She would get through this. But it still hurt, and she wasn't sure when or if the pain would subside. As Maya exited the yoga studio, she felt a sense of peace wash over her. She had been practicing yoga for a few weeks now, and it had become a crucial part of her self-care routine. The physical exercise and mindfulness practices had helped her to release some of the tension and anxiety that had been building up inside of her since her breakup with Alex. As she walked down the street, Maya noticed a woman sitting on a bench, watching her with a curious expression. The woman had long curly hair and a warm smile. She looked familiar, but Maya couldn't quite place her. "Hi there," the woman said, as Maya approached. "I'm so glad I saw you. My name is Lila, by the way." Maya smiled and introduced herself. "I'm Maya. It's nice to meet you." Lila gestured for Maya to sit down beside her. "So, I noticed you practicing yoga in there. Are you a regular?" Maya nodded. "Yeah, I started coming here a few weeks ago. It's really helped me to deal with some personal stuff that's been going on." Layla's expression softened. "I know exactly what you mean. I went through a similar experience not too long ago. My ex-boyfriend cheated on me, and it left me feeling lost and broken. Maya felt a surge of empathy for this stranger. She could see the pain in Lila's eyes, and it reminded her of her own heartbreak. "I'm so sorry," she said, reaching out to touch Lila's hand. "That must have been really hard for you." Lila nodded, her voice cracking. "It was, but I found that yoga helped me to heal in ways that I never could have imagined. The physical practice kept my body strong, while the mindfulness aspects of it allowed me to connect with my inner self and find peace." Maya felt a sense of hope rise up inside of her. She had been struggling to find a way to heal herself, and maybe this woman's experience could provide some insight into her own journey. "Thank you for sharing that," she said gratefully. "I really need to hear that right now." Lila smiled, her eyes brimming with warmth. "We all do, sweetie. We all need someone to talk to and understand us when we're going through tough times. And I'm here for you if you ever need someone to talk to." Maya felt a sense of gratitude towards this woman she had just met. She knew that she would be okay, as long as she had people like Lila in her life. And maybe, just maybe, they could help each other heal and find their way back to happiness. Maya sits at her desk, journal in hand, staring blankly at the page in front of her. She takes a deep breath, letting the silence of her home surround her before beginning to write. The words pour out of her, uncensored and raw, as she explores the depths of her emotional pain. As she writes, Maya's thoughts and feelings begin to take shape, and she starts to see the source of her pain. She realizes that her ex-boyfriend's betrayal has left a deep wound, one that she had been trying to ignore or suppress for months. But now, as she confronts the truth of her emotions, she can feel the weight of her sorrow lifting. Maya writes about the ways in which her ex's actions have affected her, from the loss of trust and self-worth to the feelings of anger and resentment that still linger inside of her. She pours out her heart, letting the words flow freely as she explores the depths of her pain. As she writes, Maya feels a sense of progress in her healing journey. For the first time since her breakup, she can see a glimmer of hope on the horizon, one that fills her with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. She knows that she still has work to do, but she also knows that she is capable of overcoming her pain and finding happiness once again. With each passing moment, Maya feels the weight of her sorrow lifting, replaced by a sense of clarity and purpose. She knows that she will be okay, and that the future holds something beautiful and bright for her. And with that knowledge, she smiles, feeling a sense of peace and contentment wash over her. Maya stepped into the cozy bookstore, the scent of freshly brewed coffee and old books enveloping her like a warm hug. She had been feeling lost and alone since her breakup, but a friend had recommended this book club as a way to meet new people and find support. Maya's heart raced as she approached the counter, her eyes scanning the shelves for any familiar faces. As she waited for the club's facilitator to arrive, Maya couldn't help but notice the other women already seated at the table. They were all different ages and backgrounds, but they shared a common thread, a desire to heal and grow. One woman, an elderly lady with silver hair and a kind smile, caught Maya's eye. She wore a badge that read Rose, and her gentle demeanor put Maya at ease. "Hi there, dear," Rose said, extending her hand. "I'm so glad you could join us today. My name is Rose, and I'll be facilitating our discussion today." Maya took a deep breath and introduced herself, feeling a sense of nervousness wash over her. But as she looked around the table, she saw only warmth and understanding in the eyes of these strangers. "So, let's get started," Rose said, pulling out a copy of The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. "This book is all about following your dreams and listening to your heart. It's a beautiful story that I think will resonate with all of us on our own healing journeys." As the discussion began, Maya found herself opening up to these women in a way she never had before. They shared their own stories of pain and struggle, but also of hope and resilience. Maya felt a sense of belonging that she hadn't experienced since her breakup, and for the first time, she felt like she was part of something bigger than herself. Maya, feeling inspired and uplifted by the women in the book club, and she knows that this is just the beginning of her healing journey. Maya and the group of women sit in a circle in the park, surrounded by blooming flowers and the sound of chirping birds. The sun sets over the horizon, casting a warm glow over the scene. Rose, the facilitator, smiles at Maya and asks her to share her story. Maya takes a deep breath and begins to speak, her voice trembling at first but growing stronger as she continues. She tells the group about her painful breakup, her struggles with self-doubt and depression, and her journey of self-discovery and healing. As Maya speaks, the other women listen intently, their faces filled with empathy and understanding. They share their own stories of heartbreak and healing, creating a sense of solidarity and connection among them. One woman, Sarah, tells the group about her experience with a toxic relationship and how she found the courage to leave. Another woman, Rachel, shares her struggle with anxiety and how she learned to manage it through therapy and self-care. Throughout their sharing, the group is filled with laughter, tears, and moments of deep understanding. Maya feels seen and heard for the first time since her breakup, and she knows that these women are here to support her on her healing journey. As the sun dips below the horizon, the group gathers together in a warm embrace, their hearts filled with hope and inspiration. The scene ends with Maya feeling more connected to the group and more confident in her ability to heal and move forward. Maya sat nervously on the couch in her therapist's office, fidgeting with her hands as she waited for Dr. Johnson to arrive. She had been coming to therapy for a few weeks now, and each session had left her feeling more and more introspective. Today was no exception. Dr. Johnson entered the room with a warm smile and a gentle greeting. "Hello, Maya. How are you feeling today?" she asked as she settled into her chair behind her desk. Maya took a deep breath before launching into her story. "I've been thinking a lot about my breakup lately," she began. "I know I need to let go of the past and move on, but it's just so hard." She paused, tears welling up in her eyes. "That's completely normal," Dr. Johnson reassured her. "The past can be painful, and it's understandable that you'd have difficulty letting it go. Can you tell me a bit more about what you're struggling with? What comes up for you when you think about your ex?" Maya felt a lump form in her throat as she tried to articulate her emotions. "It's just, he was my everything for so long," she said, her voice cracking. "I thought we were meant to be together forever. And then he just left, without any explanation or anything. It feels like I've been left behind, like I wasn't good enough." Dr. Johnson nodded sympathetically. "It sounds like you're still grappling with some very deep wounds from this breakup," she said. "Would you like to talk more about that?" Maya took another deep breath and closed her eyes, trying to gather her thoughts. "I just feel so lost and alone," she admitted. "Like I'm stuck in this never-ending cycle of sadness and self-doubt. I don't know how to move on or find happiness again." Dr. Johnson leaned forward, her eyes filled with compassion. "Maya, it's okay to feel lost and alone right now," she said gently. "But the good news is that you don't have to do this alone. You have me and this therapy session to help you work through these emotions. And more importantly, you have within yourself the strength and resilience to heal and move forward." Maya felt a small spark of hope ignite within her at Dr. Johnson's words. Maybe, just maybe, she could find a way to let go of the past and embrace a brighter future after all. You sit at your kitchen table, journal in hand, staring blankly into space. You've been avoiding this moment for weeks now, but you know it's time to confront the source of your pain. You take a deep breath and begin to write. "Dear Journal, I've been trying to avoid this for so long, but I know it's time to face the truth. My breakup with Jack was not just any ordinary heartbreak. It was like my world came crashing down around me. Every memory, every feeling, every thought is tainted by the pain of his betrayal. I keep replaying the same questions in my head. Why did he do it? Was it something I did? Could I have prevented it? The more I think about it, the more I feel like I'm drowning in a sea of self-doubt. But today, I decided to take a different approach. Instead of dwelling on the past, I want to focus on the present. What am I feeling right now? What do I want for my future? These are the questions that need answering. As I write these words, I feel a sense of liberation. Maybe, just maybe, I can start to heal and move on. But first, I need to confront the source of my pain. I remember the day he left, like it was yesterday. The look on his face, the sound of his voice, the feeling of my heart shattering into a million pieces. It's a memory that still haunts me to this day. But today, I'm going to try to confront that pain head on. I take another deep breath and begin to write again. Dear Journal, I remember the day he left, like it was yesterday. The look on his face, the sound of his voice, the feeling of my heart shattering into a million pieces. It's a memory that still haunts me to this day. But today, I'm going to try to confront that pain head on. I imagine myself standing in front of him, looking him straight in the eye. Why did you do it? I ask, my voice trembling with anger and sadness. What could possibly be so important that you would leave me like this? He looks at me with a mixture of guilt and regret, but also with a hint of defiance. I was just not ready for the responsibility of being in a committed relationship, he says. I wanted to see other people experience new things, and I knew that if I stayed with you, I would never be able to do that. I feel a wave of anger wash over me at his words. How could he do this to me? How could he just throw away our relationship like it meant nothing? But then, I remember something that Dr. Johnson said in therapy last week. Anger is a natural emotion, she told me. It's okay to feel angry, as long as you don't let it consume you. I take a deep breath and let the anger fade away, replacing it with a sense of compassion for myself and for Jack. We were both young and naive, trying to figure out our lives. We made mistakes, but we also learned from them. And now, it's time for me to move on. I imagine myself letting go of the past, like a balloon floating away into the sky. It's a feeling of release, of freedom. I am no longer tied down by the pain of my breakup. I am ready to embrace my future with open arms. As I finish writing in my journal, I feel a sense of peace wash over me. Maybe, just maybe, I can start to heal and move on. And who knows? Maybe someday I'll find someone who will love me for who I am, flaws and all. Maya sits at her kitchen table, staring blankly into space. She has been struggling to move on from her painful breakup with Jack, and it feels like no matter what she does, she can't shake off the negative emotions that linger inside of her. She takes a deep breath and begins to write in her journal, hoping that putting her thoughts and feelings down on paper will bring her some clarity. As she writes, Maya starts to feel a sense of hope and empowerment wash over her. She realizes that she has been holding on to the past for too long, and that it's time for her to let go and move forward. She imagines herself standing in front of Jack, looking him straight in the eye and asking him why he did what he did. She feels a wave of anger wash over her, but then she remembers the words of Dr. Johnson and takes a deep breath, letting the anger fade away and replacing it with compassion for both herself. As she finishes writing in her journal, Maya feels a sense of peace wash over her. She knows that she still has a long way to go on her healing journey, but for the first time in months, she feels like she is making progress. She smiles to herself, knowing that she's one step closer to moving on and finding happiness again. Maya feeling more empowered and hopeful about her future, ready to take the next steps on her healing journey. Maya sits at her kitchen table, surrounded by boxes and bags filled with her old belongings. She takes a deep breath and begins to sort through the items, deciding what to keep and what to let go of. As she works, she reflects on the past and all that has led her to this moment. Ah, my dear memories. Maya chuckles, smiling wistfully at an old photograph in front of her. Her hands are gentle, lovingly stroking the edges of the picture as if it were a precious treasure. So many good times, so much love. She pauses, her eyes welling up with tears. But it's time to let go. With a determined sigh, Maya sets aside the photograph and continues sorting through her belongings. She comes across a box filled with letters from Jack, each one carefully written and tied with a ribbon. Maya's heart aches as she reads through them, remembering the sweet words and promises he made to her. Tears stream down her face as she remembers the love they shared, but she knows that it's time to move on. "Goodbye, Jack," Maya whispers, gently placing the letters in a pile to be thrown away. "I'll always cherish the memories we made together, but I need to let go of the past to embrace the future." As she continues sorting, Maya discovers a small box tucked away in the back of her closet. She opens it and finds a necklace that Jack gave her on their first anniversary. It's a beautiful silver pendant with a small diamond in the center, symbolizing their love for each other. Maya's hands tremble as she holds the necklace, remembering the joy and happiness they shared when they first received it. "I can't," Maya whispers, her voice shaking. "I can't let go of this." She looks up, her eyes searching for something to hold on to, but there is nothing but empty space. With a heavy heart, she makes the decision to keep the necklace, knowing that it will always be a reminder of the love they shared. Maya sat on her couch, staring at the necklace that Jack had given her. She remembered the joy and happiness they shared when they first received it. But now, she felt a sense of guilt and shame for forgiving him so easily. Zara, her best friend, sat across from her, sipping tea and listening intently as Maya confided in her about her struggles with forgiveness. "I don't know what to do, Sarah," Maya said, tears streaming down her face. "Part of me wants to hold on to the anger and resentment, but another part of me wants to let go and move on." Sarah set her teacup down and took Maya's hands in hers. "You need to listen to your heart, Maya," she said gently. "Forgiveness isn't about forgetting what happened or excusing his behavior. It's about letting go of the negative emotions that are holding you back." Maya sighed and wiped her tears away. "I know that," she said, "but it's easier said than done." Sarah leaned forward, her eyes filled with concern. "I know it is," she said, "but you can do this, Maya. You're strong and capable, and I'll be here to support you every step of the way." Maya smiled gratefully at Sarah and took a deep breath. She knew that forgiveness was a journey, and it wasn't going to be easy. But with Sarah by her side, she felt more confident and determined than ever before. Maya walked into the yoga studio, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. She had been practicing yoga for a few months now, and she loved the way it made her feel, strong, centered, and at peace. Today was a special day, though. Maya had signed up for a workshop on self-care and affirmations, hoping to find a way to improve her self-esteem and confidence. As she settled into child's pose, Maya closed her eyes and took a deep breath. She could feel the energy of the other students in the room, their breathing and movement a soothing balm for her frazzled nerves. The instructor, a warm and gentle woman named Lila, began to speak, her voice low and soothing. "Today, we're going to focus on self-love and acceptance," Lila said. "We all have inner critics, voices that tell us we're not good enough, smart enough, or deserving of love and happiness. But the truth is, we are all worthy of love and respect, just as we are." Maya felt a lump form in her throat as she listened to Lila's words. She had been struggling with her self-worth for months now, ever since her breakup with Jack. It seemed like no matter what she did, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was somehow to blame for their relationship ending. But as Lila guided them through a series of poses and breathing exercises, Maya began to feel a shift inside of her. She started to focus on her own strength and resilience, rather than her weaknesses and failures. By the end of the workshop, she felt lighter, freer, and more confident than she had in weeks. As she left the studio, Maya felt a sense of hope and optimism that she hadn't experienced in months. Maybe, just maybe, she could learn to love herself after all. Maya spends time with her loved ones, enjoying their company and support. She also faces setbacks from her past, but learns to navigate them with newfound confidence. You are Maya, a young woman who has been on a journey of self-discovery and healing after a painful breakup. You have been working hard to forgive your ex and let go of the past, but it has not always been easy. Today is a special day, your grandmother's birthday. Your family and close friends have gathered at a restaurant to celebrate her milestone birthday. As you sit down at the table, You feel a mix of emotions. You are excited to be surrounded by loved ones, but you also feel anxious about facing your past and the people who were once important to you. Your grandmother is the matriarch of the family, and her birthday is a time for celebration and reflection. Your ex-Jack will be attending the party today. You have not seen him in months, and the thought of being in the same room as him makes your stomach turn. However, you know that facing him is a necessary step in your healing process. You want to be able to move on with your life and find happiness again, but you are not sure if you are ready for that yet. As you take a deep breath and prepare to face the day ahead, you feel a gentle hand on your shoulder. It is your grandmother, who has come to offer her support and love. She smiles at you and says, "You are strong and capable, my dear. I am so proud of the woman you have become." Your grandmother's words of encouragement give you the strength you need to face the day ahead. You take a seat at the table, ready to celebrate your grandmother's birthday and embrace the challenges that lie ahead. What do you do next? A. Try to avoid Jack and stick to your close friends and family. B. Make an effort to talk to Jack and see how he is doing. C. Take a moment to reflect on your journey so far and the lessons you have learned. D. Get up and dance to the music playing in the background, letting go of any tension or anxiety. You are Maya, a young woman who has been on a journey of self-discovery and healing after a painful breakup. You have successfully navigated challenges such as therapy sessions and forgiving your ex. As a result of those challenges, you were able to heal the parts that you found broken within yourself. And now you are ready to start a new business venture. You wake up early in the morning feeling refreshed and energized. You have a big day ahead of you, as you will be launching your new business at a networking event tonight. You take a deep breath and let out a squeal of excitement before getting ready for your day. Today is an exciting one. After going to work with her close friends where Maya successfully manages people resources, she comes back home to get ready for the launch of her new business venture. As you prepare for the event, you feel a mix of emotions. You are excited about the new possibilities that lie ahead, but also anxious about taking a big risk and leaving the safety of your previous job. You know that this is an important step in your life, and one that requires careful consideration. Your family is very supportive of your decision to start a new business, but you can tell they are worried about the financial risks involved. Your mind races with thoughts of the unknown as you get ready for the event. You try to focus on the positive aspects of this change in your life, such as the freedom and fulfillment that comes from pursuing your passion. But despite these efforts, some of your old insecurities creep up. Maybe you are not good enough to run a business. Maybe it was foolish of you to quit your job without a safety net. As you put on your outfit for the event, you take a deep breath and remind yourself that this is just another step in your journey. You have come so far already and proven to yourself that you are capable of overcoming any obstacle that comes your way. With confidence and determination, you head out the door to face whatever challenges await you tonight. What do you do next? A. Arrive at the networking event early and set up your booth. B. Take a few deep breaths and remind yourself of all the hard work you have put into this venture. C. Call your family to check in and see how they are doing. D. Go over your presentation one last time before the event starts. Maya wakes up early, feeling refreshed and energized. She takes a deep breath and lets out a squeal of excitement before getting ready for her big day. After going to work with her close friends, she comes back home to get ready for the launch of her new business venture. As she prepares for the event, she feels a mix of emotions, excitement about the new possibilities ahead, but also anxiety about taking a big risk and leaving the safety of her previous job. She tries to focus on the positive aspects of this change in her life, such as the freedom and fulfillment that comes from pursuing her passion. But despite these efforts, some of her old insecurities creep up. Maybe she's not good enough to run a business. Maybe it was foolish of her to quit her job without a safety net. As Maya puts on her outfit for the event, she takes a deep breath and reminds herself that this is just another step in her journey. She has come so far already and proven to herself that she is capable of overcoming any obstacle that comes her way. With confidence and determination, She heads out the door to face whatever challenges await her tonight. As she arrives at the networking event, she takes a deep breath and approaches her booth, looking confident and in control. She greets the other attendees warmly and prepares for the event, ready to share her passion with the world and embrace the new chapter of her life. As Maya takes a few deep breaths, she feels a sense of calm wash over her. She closes her eyes and focuses on the present moment, letting go of any negative thoughts or doubts that may be holding her back. She remembers all the long nights and early mornings she spent working on this venture, the countless hours of research and planning, and the unwavering support of her friends and family. With a newfound sense of confidence and determination, Maya opens her eyes and takes one last look at herself in the mirror before heading out the door. The scene begins with Maya standing in front of the mirror, taking a few deep breaths to calm her nerves. She looks confident and determined, dressed in a sleek black dress and heels that accentuate her natural beauty. Her hair is styled perfectly, and her makeup is light but flawless. She takes one last look at herself before heading out the door, feeling ready to take on whatever challenges await her tonight. As Maya arrives at the networking event, she is greeted by a sea of familiar faces, all of whom are eager to learn more about her new business venture. She takes a deep breath and approaches her booth, looking confident and in control. She greets the other attendees warmly and prepares for the event, ready to share her passion with the world and embrace the new chapter of her life. As the event begins, Maya takes the stage and delivers a powerful speech about the importance of self-love and forgiveness in achieving success. She shares her own personal story of heartbreak and transformation, inspiring the audience with her vulnerability and authenticity. Throughout the evening, she connects with attendees on a deep level, offering words of encouragement and support as they navigate their own paths to self-discovery and fulfillment. As the event comes to a close, Maya feels a sense of pride and accomplishment wash over her. She has faced her fears and taken a big risk, but it has paid off in the end. She has found a new sense of purpose and meaning in her life, and she is excited to see where this journey will take her next. With a smile on her face and a spring in her step, Maya heads home, ready to embrace the future with joy and gratitude. Maya is at home, feeling vulnerable and lost after experiencing some setbacks in her personal life. She has been putting on a brave face for her friends and family, but inside she feels like she is falling apart. She sits on her couch, staring blankly at the wall as she tries to process her emotions. Suddenly, there is a knock at the door. Maya hesitates before getting up to answer it, wondering who it could be at this late hour. When she opens the door, she is surprised to see her best friend, Rachel, standing on her porch with a concerned look on her face. Rachel, hey girl. What's going on? I noticed you haven't been answering my calls or texts lately, and I just wanted to check in on you. Are you okay? Maya, sighing. I don't know, Rachel. Lately, everything seems to be falling apart. My business is struggling. I had a fight with my boyfriend, and I just feel so lost and alone. Rachel, oh my gosh, Maya. Sorry to hear that. Come here and talk to me about it. Let me help you figure things out. Maya hesitates for a moment before stepping aside and allowing Rachel to enter her home. As they sit down on the couch together, Maya begins to open up about all of the struggles she has been facing lately. Rachel listens attentively, offering words of encouragement and support as Maya tearfully recounts everything that has been going wrong in her life. As they talk, Maya starts to feel a sense of relief wash over her. She realizes that she doesn't have to face all of these challenges alone, and that with the help of her friends and family, she can overcome anything that comes her way. With renewed hope and determination, Maya looks towards the future, ready to embrace whatever lies ahead with open arms. Maya and Rachel hugging each other tightly, both of them feeling grateful for the strong bond of friendship they share, and knowing that they will always be there to support one another through thick and thin. A sunset in a park, the sky is painted with warm orange and pink hues as Maya sits on a bench overlooking a serene lake. She looks reflective, her thoughts deep in contemplation as she watches a couple walk hand in hand by the water's edge. Birds chirp and flutter overhead, adding to the peaceful ambience of the scene. Maya, wow, it's hard to believe that my journey has come to this point. From the pain of heartbreak to a place of forgiveness, growth, and gratitude. It feels like just yesterday I was lying on my couch, feeling hopeless and lost. Now I feel like I have so much to be thankful for, even though there are still challenges ahead. As Maya speaks aloud, a gentle breeze rustles the leaves of the nearby trees, creating a soft, whispering sound that adds to her introspective mood. She takes a deep breath, savoring the serenity of the moment and the lessons she has learned along the way. Maya, I've gained so much from this journey, new perspectives, deeper relationships, and a sense of purpose that I never knew I had. And through it all, I've learned to appreciate the little things in life, like the beauty of nature and the kindness of others. As Maya continues to reflect on her journey, she notices a family of ducks swimming playfully in the lake nearby. The mother duck glides gracefully across the water while her baby ducks chase after each other, their quacks filling the air with joy and contentment. Maya feels filled with hope for her future and thanksgiving for the growth and love that has filled her heart